Welcome to Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast. All right, welcome to our podcast. This morning I have the good fortune of sitting with three of our power interns, and I'm going to give you a chance this morning to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about you, where you go to school, something exciting about you that no one knows. So we'll start with you, McKinley.
Well, my name is McKinley Lloyd III. I'm a rising sophomore at Norfolk State University in Virginia. This summer I've completed a property management internship with the Farbman Group and just been learning about the commercial side of real estate. I've never really thought about it before, but I've learned a lot, and I'm ready to go back to school and just make this year great.
All right. Sahana?
Hi, my name is Sahana Yanashetty, and I am a rising sophomore at Michigan State University. And I did a finance internship with the Farbman Group, and it was my first internship, and it really showed me how a business works and introduced me to real estate, which I had no experience with before, and overall it was a great experience.
Good. Glad to hear it. All right, Hugh.
My name's Hugh Lambert. I'm a rising sophomore at the Ross School of Business, and I recently just finished a software internship at the Farbman Group. It's been really interesting to see a different side of real estate through software and a little bit of IT, I guess, and it's just been an interesting approach to real estate in a different eye.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, so let's talk about what your favorite part of your internship was this year. Hugh, let's start with you. What did you enjoy most?
One of my favorite parts of the internship was the Farbman U that Farbman put on throughout just about every month. They would have a new company or someone part of the company explaining their specialty in the Farbman Group, and it's really interesting because it's very diverse and there's a lot of people on the team that do completely different things, and just seeing how they all mesh together is really interesting in just understanding real estate.
That's great, and I'm glad you liked that tool. The Farbman University we've now done for almost 2 decades, and it really is a great learning tool for both ourselves and our clients, and we tend to bring people in to those things to educate not only our employees but our clients as well, and give the community an opportunity to learn. So I always find it exciting when someone enjoys the Farbman University. All right, McKinley, what do you think?
I would say my favorite part about my internship was engaging with the tenants. I think the focal point of any business or company is ensuring that your customers are taken care of and their needs are met, and just engaging with the tenants, making sure they had everything they needed, and just walking by, waving to them, things like that. I just enjoyed that part.
I think you're right. It's the small customer experience. Things as simple as saying hello as you pass them in the hallway makes a huge difference. I think that's incredibly astute that you learned that early on. Everything we do is for our customers. And now I do have to ask, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question that you totally were not prepared for. But so I heard that the management staff and you went out and actually helped with landscaping to enhance that this summer. Got your hands dirty, rolled up your sleeves. Tell me about that.
So it started off with walking the property and just pulling weeds. So Dave, who was is the property manager at Bingham Center, we just walked the property and looked at the weeds and things like that, and he started picking some, and I was like, okay. And then we got further, close by the entrance, and then that's when Sam and Hector came out, and Ralph and Teresa, and we all just ended up, and Sheila also, and we also all just ended up pulling weeds for the day. It was hot, but it was a good experience.
Something you probably didn't expect when you hired on for an internship.
Yes.
But I think that's one of the things that separates our staff is they really go the extra mile. We have our leasing agent out in the landscape areas pulling weeds. You don't see that at most companies, but it's all about the customer experience. It's enhancing that. And so we always tell our people, if you're walking by and you see a piece of garbage on the ground, you should be the one to pick it up, not call someone to pick it up. It's what we're all here to do. So I think it's awesome that everyone rolled up their sleeves and did that when they felt like the landscaping could use some enhancing, even though we pay some really great companies to do the work. On any given day, something can sprout out of the ground, and you guys did a great job with that. Thank you for going that extra mile.
Of course, of course.
Of course, last but not least, Sahana.
All right, so I think my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of this experience, was that I had an assignment to make a report basically on like why companies should move to Michigan. So I did a lot of research on it, and I definitely used like the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. It was really interesting to like learn like why Michigan is so great and why people should move here. And I actually did get to go to a meeting and meet the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. It was like such a good experience to see like what people are trying to do and like how Farbman is trying to help create Detroit to be like a great city again.
I think that's great, and your participation in that. Right now, as a company, as a community, our focus is on bringing young people back. When you graduate from school, we're hoping everyone stays in Michigan.
Yeah.
And we finally started to turn the corner on that. It used to be every year we'd ask our interns, where are you going after you graduate? And it would always be New York, Chicago. We're hearing more and more people wanting to come back to Detroit. It's a focus of us because every community starts with their young people. So I thought that was pretty cool. You got to sit in with the assistant director of the DEGC and got to be really proud of the fact that you had helped create our program for pitching Michigan out of state. You got to be really proud of what you accomplished with that.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everyone here had a supervisor. I was saying off microphone that Sahana has it bad because she's got to talk about me in here. But were there things that you learned from your supervisor, attributes that you want to emulate as you go throughout your career, things that are positive that you could talk about?
So my supervisor, Dave Barada, I really enjoyed, he always made sure that I got the most out of my internship. So aside from, how a lot of companies, they might give interns the work they don't want to do, Dave always made sure that I was in the loop of what he had going on. So for example, there was a site in Canton that you guys have been working on, and he, even though my internship is in property management, he's also been teaching me about the development side and budget reports and pro formas and things like that I didn't know that I would be gaining. So his emphasis on making sure I got the most out of my internship was probably what I admire most.
And that's a fantastic thing. We're very fortunate. Dave Barada, a very low-key individual, probably one of the most accomplished employees we have in the company. And a few years ago, Dave and I we served on a planning commission together. So for years, I was trying to find a way to get him into this company. But Dave comes from a background of having been one of the highly regarded real estate developers for multiple retail companies throughout his career. And he's just this low-key guy that if you ever talk to him, he would never tell you how accomplished he is, but he's amazing, and he really does care about those around him and tries to bring people up. So it's great he got you involved in development as well. That's an up-and-coming division for us that he's leading the charge on. So pretty cool. Glad you enjoyed that. All right, Sahana, are you ready?
All right, I'm going to be nice for this.
Yeah.
So my supervisor was Andy Gutman, as
Oh,
you know.
that's
Yeah.
terrible
Oh,
stuff.
rough choice, but meeting him, he was probably one of the most hardworking people I've ever met, while still being so nice. Like, he made sure throughout my whole internship that I got to experience, like, so many different parts of the company and learn so much. And, like, even though he was probably the busiest person I've ever met, he, like, took the time to always make sure, like, he explained every single aspect and, like, made sure I didn't have any questions or was confused about anything, and it was really, like, helpful because I obviously asked too many questions. And it was really, like, a great experience to be able to see what he does and what everybody else in the company does, and to have someone, like, show you step by step, like, what they do during their day and, like, help you, like, experience their world, kind of. And, like, he allowed me to, like, sit in on calls and meetings, and I thought that was a great experience, and I feel like interns don't usually get to do that. And overall, it was just a great learning experience, and he was, like, the person that really showed me, like, you can be the most hardworking person ever, but still, like, make every single person that you speak to feel like you have their undivided attention, that nothing else is more important than what they're asking you at that moment. And it was really great overall.
Well, thank you, Sahana. I was glad it was a good experience for you.
It was great, yeah.
And we really do try to hire, we try to hire really smart people like all three of you, and then listen to what you have to say, because you may not have the work experience yet, but what you don't know can add up to a whole lot more than what we think we know. Does that make sense? We're really trying to give an opportunity to say, hey, we don't have the experience, but we're pretty smart people, and we can tell you some things that you might need to learn as well. So we try to listen and try to engage and incorporate. And so I'm glad that's been a good part of what you've learned, and been a good experience for you. Hugh, how about you?
So my supervisor was Yang Lor, and so he always tried to make sure that I was doing something like with my time, and that I wasn't just sitting around. And if that was like with projects, he'd explain it very well through email and through or in person, and he'd give me step by step, so it was very clear of what he wanted on the project. And also with the times that he didn't have a project with me, he showed me how every Farbman U is recorded, and it's put on, I think, the F drive. And so through the free time that I had, I'd go through a few of them, and it was very interesting, because even though Yang didn't have time or didn't have a project for me to do at that time, I could use the other resources within the company to still grow my knowledge.
That's good to hear.
Real estate.
Good. Yeah, Yang is he's one of our up-and-coming leaders, actually just promoted into the position that you're reporting to him under. So he's just making his way into a new job. He was one of our IT specialists for a long time, and he's a very quiet, caring individual. We're very fortunate to have him here, and I'm glad that's been a good experience for you.
Yeah.
All right, so last piece of this, I'd love to give you an opportunity to promote what you're trying to accomplish in your career, your goals. Maybe open it up so you can give people ways to get in touch with you if they have opportunities for bright, young, future leaders of the world. So I don't know who wants to start with me today. Maybe Hugh, we'll start you off here.
Okay. So as I said earlier, I'm a rising sophomore at the Ross School of Business. I'm thinking about having a concentration in possibly real estate or finance. My future goals are kind of really, really open, and I'm just looking for just great experiences to learn.
And Hugh, how do the people get a hold of you if they want to take you up on opportunities to give you that experience?
You can call or text me at 248-946-7701.
All right, that's Hugh Lambert, one of our rising stars. Sahana?
All right, so again, I already said, but I'm a rising sophomore at Michigan State University. I'm in the business school there for a concentration in supply chain management with a minor in computer science. Not exactly sure what I want to do in the future, but I'm definitely open to any opportunities to learn and for new experiences. So anything like that I would definitely be open to. And you can email me or call me. So my email is anishet@msu.edu, and my phone number is 734-645-8421.
All right, thank you, Sahana.
Thank you.
McKinley?
Okay, so to reiterate, I'm a rising sophomore at Norfolk State University. As of right now, my major is business and entrepreneurship, but I am considering switching to finance. I'm not sure yet, but long term, I know that I want to open my own international real estate agency. I've also considered retail. Still not sure what avenue I want to go down yet, but I'm open to any opportunity that will allow me to learn more about either side of real estate or retail. But whatever I want to do, I know I want it to be international. And you can reach me at my phone number, 313-632-4332, or my email, m.lowery@spartans.nsu.edu.
All right, thank you very much. I love the fact that you have your whole life planned out in an international way. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I want to thank you all for taking the time to be a part of our podcast, to be a part of our company this summer, and for being a big part of our success. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Real Estate of Mind. On behalf of the Farbman Group, I'm Andy Gutman. Thank you for listening. Join us next time for another wonderful edition